Mark, you're gonna have to improv. Jason, introduce us.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to bring to the stage two new guests who you have not seen yet today. Please welcome Mr. Rob Benedict and Mr. Richard Spade Jr. You look great.
Thank you. So do you. I love the tight pants.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Rich,
man.
you know Mike Warha?
Mike Warha. I gotta tell you, I like the new skin.
I love the new skin.
Thank you, boys. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Benedict.
Richard Spade.
And we realized that you haven't seen us enough. And we thought, well,
Right.
we should come out to another panel.
We have to acknowledge there are some people that are here today that hadn't been here yet.
Emotionally, that would include you.
Correct.
Because yesterday, you were just not emotionally
No,
here.
I was not there.
Certainly not emotionally available.
No. I was phoning it in.
You
But
were.
today, I'm here.
Well, how many people are joining us for the first time today? Who's a Sunday person?
Hi, Sunday people. Let's just clear this up.
All right.
He is Richard Spade.
Yep.
He's the one that directed a few episodes of Supernatural.
Me. I'm the guy. And that's Rob Benedict. He fronts Loud and Sway.
I'm the lead singer of Loud and Sway. A lot of people get that confused.
Yeah.
People say to me, "What episode did you direct?"
And a lot of people say to me, would you please sign this Loud and Sway record?
Right. And when they ask me, what's my favorite episode, I like to correct them and just say that the Imaginary Friend episode was my favorite.
Oh, good. You just lean in. I was telling Rob it's a great opportunity for him to destroy my career by taking that opportunity to admit that he's always high when he's working.
Yeah.
That he prefers it when the actors are drunk, and he could really just tank my entire journey.
Right.
But he doesn't.
No.
Which is nice of you.
Thank you.
Really nice.
For acknowledging it finally.
Very classy.
Thank you.
We do have some questions.
Okay.
Should we just
We've got some answers.
You know what? Before we do that, I'm going to do this.
Uh-oh.
It's a thing. How many people are experiencing their first supernatural convention?
Awesome.
How many of those people who are experiencing their first supernatural, or I should say just anybody who's experiencing their first supernatural convention, is anybody celebrating a birthday today?
Wow.
How many? You can make noise so I can see it. All right, so stand up if it's your birthday today.
Go ahead and stand up.
Stand up.
Come on, it's your birthday. Stand up.
Stand up, birthday.
Wow. Awesome.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, is that 3 people?
4 maybe. There's one in the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, come forward if it's your birthday today. Come here, come hither. All right, stand right here. Stand right there.
Hi, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. This is
And
Rob.
you? And
Rob.
you?
I'm Rich.
Hi, Rob.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Rich.
All right. Now Rob
Wow,
is going to think of a number between 1 and 20.
1 and 20.
And you can't lie, Rob.
Okay.
You got to think of it.
Hi, happy birthday.
You got to think of it
1 and 20?
between 1 and 20.
Okay,
all right?
I got my number.
Rob's thinking of a number, so give him the number. She says 17, 7, 10, 9, 5, 8. Now repeat your number. 4, 8, 5, 9, 10, 7.
The correct answer,
What is the correct answer, Rob?
18.
Okay, so you had 17. Who had the closest number to 17?
That's...
Who out of you? Who else?
was there 10?
You had 10? Okay. Everybody else can go sit down. I wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You two stay here.
You're a winner in my heart.
Okay, now, you two are gonna play rock, paper, scissors, 2 out of 3. Face each other.
It's a tournament.
Face each other.
It's a birthday tournament.
Rock, paper, scissors, here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay. Oh,
Do it again, so it's
okay.
1, 2, 3.
shoot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay, so
Paper
you
covers
won.
rock.
Here we go. Again. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay. 3, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Okay, you've won 2 out of 3. What's your name? Trina? Happy birthday. Go back to your seat.
Thank you.
And what's your name?
Isabella,
Isabella, how old are you?
15.
You're turning 15 today. Today you're 15. Is this your first Supernatural convention?
Yeah.
Is this your first day at a Supernatural convention?
No.
Whose money are you spending this weekend?
My dad's.
Dad's money?
And your mom's, and her mom's.
And your mother's. Let's not leave my
Her
mother.
family's money.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. Happy birthday to your daughter. And from Rob and Rich and nobody else at the convention, specifically just us, we're the ones who came up with this idea, and it's our present to you. You now have a photo with Jensen and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Congratulations. This is from all of creation. I'm kidding. It's not this month. Thank you for being here. Go enjoy the photo. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Giving away dreams at the Rob and Rich panel.
And crushing them at the same time.
Yes,
Wow.
so sorry to the birthday people that didn't win.
Yeah. So now, Dad and Mom can eat this week because you don't have to spend all your money on everything. All right.
Okay,
now,
let's
now.
answer some questions.
Hi.
So I've been enjoying your podcast.
She's enjoying our podcast, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Because Rob and Rich have a podcast. We have 2, actually. We have Rob and Rich doing Kings of Con, which is Rob and Rich just spilling the beans on life in general, Rob and Rich style. It's free. It's available wherever you get podcasts. And by the way, there's years and years of backlogging of that podcast to listen to. So join us, won't you, on Kings of Con, the podcast. We also have a second podcast, Robert.
Second podcast is called Supernatural Then and Now. It's a rewatch podcast where we go episode by episode and we interview people who worked on the episode. And for Rich and I, it's actually our first time watching the show from beginning to end. So right now we're in the middle of season 5, thoroughly enjoying it. There's a character called Chuck. I'm excited to see where he goes.
You gotta wonder.
Seems like a really great guy.
You gotta wonder.
It's got to end good for him. Really interesting character called the Trickster.
Mm-hmm.
We just found out that he's also Gabriel.
What? Spoiler.
Wow.
Anyway, the podcast is free, available wherever you get your podcast, Supernatural Then and Now. We're just in the middle of season 5. Join us, won't you?
And your question is?
Your question.
Yeah, so I want to thank you for explaining the backstory to the Elastic Waistband. I saw a video years ago where that name was used with no context, and I was very confused. So in a recent podcast episode, you mentioned the possibility of releasing an album under the Elastic Waistband, and I was wondering if you could consider doing that with your convention songs, because it's been a very long time since I've heard Where's Misha, and I need that back in my life.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So when the band started playing conventions, Richard was hosting, and we had the band on stage, and the band was not Loud and Swain, and it wasn't me, Rob. We were our alternate personalities.
Yeah, alter egos.
Alter egos. And we were dressed up kind of like a Vegas band, and we were called the Elastic Waistband.
Right. And we had, so Billy Moran was not Billy Moran.
No,
he
he
was
was
Sweet Johnny High Pockets.
Yeah.
Stephen Norton was Hot Carl.
Hot Carl with a K.
Mike Borja was actually the only knighted member
Yeah,
of the band.
he's-
Sir Richard Furlong.
Sir Richard Furlong, and he had a really bad English accent. And I was Tango, no last name, just
Yeah,
Tango.
Tango.
And so yes, and she's referring to through the years we made up these songs that we play on stage. One of them is Where's Misha, which we always play when we can't find Misha for his panel. Or it was, and the lyrics are very simple. It's "Where's Misha? I don't know."
Yeah.
Um,
We've memorized a lot of songs over the years. The rules and regulations
Yeah,
we used to do.
sure.
Where's Misha?
the costume contest.
Costume contest. Yeah, we do have like sort of a greatest hits. Of
Yeah. So
convention
I think it's a
songs.
great idea, and you know, Rich is really a part of the. In the Elastic Waistband, you were kind of the manager.
Well, it was because weirdly, this is a true story. We couldn't. They asked me to host. I'm like, well, I don't want to host without a band. And Robbie and I were buddies. I'm like, let's get your band to do it. And Creation, who is the biggest Loud and Swain fans in the world now, at the time was reticent because that's not what conventions look like. They didn't have bands. So I had to convince Rob and the guys who were already an established indie rock band in LA to agree to change to these personas so we could sell them as a cover band. Because Loud and Swain's not a cover band. We had to sell them as a cover band to kind of sneak them in the door. And they're like, and then it'll work so well that we can throw away the costumes and become what they do now. But we had to get in the door that way. And Elastic Waistband, I gave them 3 name choices because they were name choices that I had always liked when I was a teenager. They were goofy band names that I always thought were funny when I was a kid. So I had made them choose from those names. It was Elastic Waistband, Hank Plank and the 2x4s, or Phil Dill and the Pickles. And the other one, which was a little racier, I said, you could be the Foreskins. They went with Elastic Waistband.
I forgot about the foreskin. And a little Easter egg for you: when the band was in the TV show The Winchesters,
Yeah,
and we're credited
under those names.
under those names.
Yeah, the credits of that reflect the original band names. And the slogan for the band, because I'd introduce them every week, was voted Las Vegas's 4th best lounge act 3 years ago. That's how we introduced you guys every week.
We decided there were only 4 people in the running, 4 bands in the running. Anyway, yeah, so I think it's a great idea. We will, at some point, I think that's an awesome idea to put together
Take it back to HQ.
an album of con
Songs. Only available. You can only buy it at the con.
At the con.
Yeah. Thank you for the idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the idea. You're not getting a cut. Next question.
Hey, Rich and Rob.
Hey, buddy.
Patrick here. I had a question for Rich and then for both of you. First, Rob mentioned yesterday that his influence is Pearl Jam. I listened to your album. Who were some of your influences for that?
I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. My dad listened to a lot of old country music when I was growing up, which I didn't necessarily love when I was a kid. But as I grew up, it became very nostalgic for me to go back and listen to the old country greats like George Jones, Willie and Waylon, and the Outlaws album, all that stuff. So depending on which Dick Jr., if you listen to the first Dick Jr. album, there's definitely a heavy influence of that stuff. In fact, I cover a Willie Nelson song on there, but kind of changed the lyrics to fit the supernatural universe. But I was also heavily influenced by a lot of bands that never made it. They made it, they did fine in Nashville, but they're not bands you would know. And I cover some of them on the album too. The song "Living at Night," which is on my first album, was by a band out of Nashville called Walk the West. And Steve Earle, who's a huge, big deal international superstar, but when he started out, the guitar player in my band used to mow his lawn, and we were big Steve Earle fans when he was just breaking in. And so I've always been a Steve Earle fan. And now with the advent of a generation of country music artists who are more like the artists I grew up listening to, Chris Stapleton, Sturgill Simpson, Eric Church, you go down the list of guys, Tyler Childers, all these like new singers who are old school. I mean, they're hugely influential on me. And then also from a rock standpoint, REM. There was no band I was more into than REM growing up.
Thank you for that.
You're
And
welcome.
then, for both of you, as you went the music route versus acting and directing, how was that shift, or how did you manage both of them, and what was kind of, well, you could fund it maybe as the thing, but like, how do you balance, and was there lessons learned that you took from one into the other?
I'm going to answer first because mine's a quick one. Because I played Rob's had a much longer songwriting career and band career with Loud and Swain. I just played in cover bands from 15 forward. I got into music because it was camaraderie with my buddies, and sometimes it meant free beer. It was never a money-making opportunity, thank goodness, or I'd be broke. It was just an excuse to have fun. I got into the idea of actually doing my own stuff. I played in a couple of original bands in LA, but really my career was always about being an actor and a director, and didn't really become a guy who wanted to do my own thing until I was well implanted in the supernatural universe and was playing with these guys and hanging out with Jason and had access to great musicianship and friendship and support to kind of go and do it. So it's a very different journey for me. Mine has been, I don't think that door would have opened had I not been introduced to this universe first. Rob?
Yeah, I started this band with these guys in the 90s. We've been together for a long time. And immediately we started writing. First we would play covers, we played REM songs, but just for each other, right? And then we started immediately, Mike, the bass player, and I started bringing in our own music. And it was super fun. So, we would play our own stuff. And for me, as an actor, I went to acting school, I went to theater school. Acting was always like my career. I still do. I put a lot of pressure on myself to find work, to do a great job with work, to be relevant as an actor. And I didn't want to put that much pressure on music. Because it was my own music I was playing, I didn't want to feel any kind of rejection or, failure. I just wanted to be just fun, because music to me is like a healing instrument for me. It's healing to do. And so I thought, well, this is just, if anything happens, if we ever make money or whatever, it's just icing, because the joy just comes from playing, being able to play. So, but as both my careers kind of developed, I was able to sort of merge the two, and the band still for me is like the fact that people sing lyrics, or every show is it's transformative for me, because I don't ever expect anything, so everything is always a delight. It's like, oh my God, amazing, that. But I've been able to sort of combine the two, which has been great. Having 3 different songs of ours were used in Supernatural, which was great. I remember when Rich was directing, I think season 15, I was like, hey, is there any room for a Loud and Swain song? And he put a song of ours in an episode. And I've done a lot of indie movies that have used our music, and that kind of thing is really great for me to be able to combine the two. So yeah, I mean, honestly, not lesson learned, but it just, the only problem is that there's not enough time in a day, I mean, I've got some side bands that we've formed, and Rich has his groups that, he has with Billy, and, I'd love to play in more bands, I'd love to go on tour more, I'd love to do it more, but there's just only so much time in a day between, I've got kids, and I've got this acting career as well, and the podcast and everything. I just wish there was more time to do even more, because I find such joy in it. And I so appreciate the relationship I have with the audience. The people enjoy the music is great for me.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Good question. Over here.
This question is from my husband. It's for Richard. And he's a big fan of you from Band of Brothers.
Cool.
And he wanted to ask you, what was your experience on Band of Brothers, and what kind of impact it made in your life?
Interesting question. Look, I could go, as Rob knows, I could do an entire panel on Band of Brothers in itself, just because of how monumental an experience it was for me as an individual and as an actor. I'll make it brief and say the experience was second to none. Not just because I got to work on such a high caliber project, and not just because I worked with some guys who are still now my great friends. We all sort of went through this journey together and have stayed close because of it, but because I was introduced to the world of U.S. veterans and met some spectacular gentlemen who gave parts of their body and most of their soul to saving democracy, and lost their friends and watched horrible things happen so that we can stand on stage and do what we're doing right now. It completely changed my approach to my life as an American, as a man, as a father. It changed, it took my life in a dramatically different path. Internally, not externally. I'm still an actor, still going off doing my thing. But how, I didn't have children at the time, I wasn't married at the time, but as I grew into those phases of life, everything I learned from the men of Easy Company, I apply to my life daily, because they were spectacular people. And it's why when I stand on this stage and I say, if you're in the military, thank you. It is not a BS thing I should do because I'm an actor. I mean it from the bottom of my being, that if you are brave enough to step in front of a loaded weapon in order to secure the freedoms that we all enjoy, and might I say, on that note, anybody who tells you you're not fit to wear the uniform because who you love, what you do, where you do it, can go fuck themselves. And the weird thing is, the fact that you, of all stars and stripes, of all kinds, step in front of those weapons and protect all of us and all of our freedoms, because you do that, you have freed up people to be assholes. And that sucks. But just know, when people are saying negative things about your service, know quietly in your heart that you gave them the gift to do that. Now, they're taking a freedom and throwing it on the ground by using it for negative purposes, but that sour energy will eat them up from the inside. That's not our problem. What we do is we celebrate those who give us the liberties that we so freely enjoy. So thank you to everybody who wears the uniform, who's married or related to the uniform, whose children wear the uniform, who support people who wear the uniform. We sincerely thank you. And thank your husband for joining Band of Brothers. And I encourage all of you to, not because I'm in it, but Band of Brothers, the most recent one, Masters of the Air, the Pacific, they're great educations in what has really happened to be sure that we can do what we do. It's great to see, it's great when Hollywood takes time to tell the stories of the people who've done extraordinary things in order for us to live our ordinary lives. So take the time, learn a little bit, and celebrate a lot. And I tell you, if you see a uniformed veteran anywhere, airport, restaurant, stop for a second and say thank you. They'll appreciate it, and they deserve it. Thank you for your question.
So I know you've had a lot of serious questions just now. Mine's just kind of goofy. Would you classify a hot dog as a sandwich or a taco?
What I said about World War II, I mean, because we had the freedom to ask this question. Rob, you love hot dogs.
It's not a taco. It's not a taco.
It's also not a sandwich.
It's more sandwich than taco.
Well, the same can be said about you.
That's true. Yeah, so I'd say sandwich if there were only two choices, because it's not a taco. I mean, it looks like a taco, but it's not a taco.
It's not a taco. No.
It's more sandwich.
It's not a sandwich either. But it's not a taco.
Well, I have two options. I have two
I know.
choices.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm following you down this rabbit hole because it's not a taco.
Okay. But it's not a sandwich.
No.
So what would you call it? A hot dog.
I call it a hot dog.
Hot dog.
I called it a Frankfurter. I
Frankfurter
called it a wiener.
in a bun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Thank you.
It made an impact. All right, you.
Hi there, my name is Annika. You both play very powerful characters in Supernatural, which I could imagine is fun in its own right. I'm curious, of all the weapons in the Supernatural universe, which one you most wish you got the chance to use?
All the weapons.
I don't really know, since Rob and I are not necessarily, we haven't watched all the show, there's definitely going to be some weapons we don't know about.
Yeah.
But the first blade seemed cool, but then it also screwed up Dean, I know that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a good thing. But the Colt just
The
looks
Colt. Yeah, the Colt.
Colt just looks cool.
Looks
Because
cool.
it's like, you know, Old West.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Colt. Robert?
So I can't go with the Colt.
You can go Colt.
What's the knife that has like the jagged teeth underneath?
Demon Blade?
Demon Blade.
That thing.
Demon Blade?
Yeah.
All right, Demon Blade and the Colt.
Also, I thought it was kind of cool the gun that we used at the end of season 14, where like if you shoot the person, then you also get shot. The Equalizer. Rob Benedict is the Equalizer.
I'll do your taxes and.
I'll balance your books. So I'll go with well, I got to use the Equalizer, so I'll do the knife with the teeth on it.
Knife with the teeth on it and the Colts.
Angel Blade.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yo.
Hi, my name is Kira from Dronesville, Ohio,
Hi.
Hello.
and my question is for both of you. I don't know if you guys know, but Spotify had this special thing where they had to list last bands that we listened to, and I was wondering what the 5 bands you guys would have if you could do any concert.
Oh, if you could put together your dream roster of bands for a concert, you're saying?
If you could listen to any 5 bands in one concert, which ones would you pick?
Most of my choices are dead.
Dead, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be living or dead.
Yeah, let's go with dead.
Dead or alive, guys?
Dead or alive. Dead or alive, not on my list.
Okay, not dead or alive, not on my list. Jimi Hendrix and the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Same.
The Rolling Stones with the original lineup, Brian Jones, before Brian Jones died. So the pre-July 1969 Rolling Stones.
Same.
The Beatles.
Same.
Obviously. REM. I'd put REM.
REM circa 85.
Yeah, like Fables of the Reconstruction.
REM, same.
And I would probably say, who else would have been amazing? Oh, Led Zeppelin. It would be great to do all that and throw in that. And Michael Bublé. Well, I love the boob. I'm just saying, like, you know.
Hey,
like,
and everybody knows you love the boob.
I love the boob. You know that Billy Moran was listening to like classic music. Remember we were with him. We were listening to like classic Sinatra tunes, and he's like, "Oh wow, I didn't know. Who's this guy covering Bublé?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Isn't Fly Me to the Moon a Bublé song?" I'm like, "Billy." Turned out he knows a lot about music, but not when it comes to Sinatra and the boob.
No, he really does. I mean, Billy's expanded his. When I first met Billy, you know, his musical knowledge was all around his metal from the late '80s metal.
Right. Okay.
Remember when Ozzy Chow?
You've got one album, one band.
I know.
left,
Remember when we were playing Paco Bell's Canon? Mike was playing on piano, and Ozzy Chow was like, "Is that yours? Are there lyrics to that?" I think my 5th band would be. Oh man, it's hard to choose. Okay, I will do. I'll go with Pearl Jam, like circa '94, like the.
Daughter out by
the Versus tour. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
Yo.
Hi.
You just hit your teeth?
What?
Did you just hit the mic with your teeth?
I did.
Yeah.
It's okay. I've done that.
We've all been there.
My question is, Rob, since you have Cartoon South, Rich, maybe it's time for you and I think Billy to name your bathroom setup, since that's where you get the best acoustics.
We do. It's called Master Bath Studios. Like if you look at the credits of the Dick Jr. second album, it says recorded at the Doghouse and Master Bath Studios, because Master Bath Studios was where we did all the vocals for the album. We did everything because the way my house is laid out, it goes, in the master bedroom, there's a bathroom and then a closet. So we ran, Billy and Zach Darling sat on the other side of the bathroom. All the cords ran through the bathroom to the closet where we did all the vocals. So it's Master Bath Studios. Done.
Fair enough. Part 2 is when you're both writing, how do you call a song complete? Like, what is it for you where you're like, wow, this is it, like, this is it in my heart, I feel like this song is good to go?
It's always hard to do that. It's like, I imagine a painter with a painting that you always want to keep tweaking it. And so at some point you kind of have to just let go of it. I guess for me, that's when I'm writing music that ends up being a Loud Swain song, I guess it's when I go, okay, I could keep futzing with this, but I want to bring in the band, because the band's going to have their own input on it. So for me, I guess it's finished. My job's finished when I give it to the band, even if the song isn't done yet. my job is sort of finished when I give it to the band, and then it becomes a band song. But yeah, when I'm writing my solo stuff, yeah, it's really hard to say. I mean, some songs you feel like, okay, that's it, that's the song, that's it, it's good. And then some songs you're like, but could the chorus be better, you know? I don't know.
There's that old adage in TV making that like the scene is over when you walk off that set.
Yeah, right.
And I guess the same adage is true. Like the song is over when you're done. Okay, we're done recording that, fellas.
When you've mastered it.
Yeah, I mean then it's done.
Yeah, and you know, there's some songs that we've recorded through the years that I feel like we play better now live. You know, and I wish we could go back and sort of, you know, that was the impetus for making that acoustic album we made. We got to reopen up some of those songs. Yeah, I guess it's hard to answer that. Sometimes.
I think it's a fair answer. I mean, because I think it's an evolving, like anything, it's an evolving art until you unplug the amps and walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's recorded, then it's okay. That's the song.
Then it's out there, and it's like Rob said. If you have a favorite song by an artist, anybody, and you go see them play it live, odds are it's going to sound different because it's always evolving. They always change things, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and the song continues to grow. That's what's cool about the life of a song too. Like, you know, a song can take on new meaning and have, you know, a whole, you know, our song "She Waits" is one of those songs. If you go back and listen to the original "She Waits," it's very different. You know, it's become this new thing. It's grown and has new meaning for us now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over here, sir.
This is a question more for Richard, but Rob, feel free to chime in. So Richard, it seems like from the look of your mustache that it has maybe like the power to call lightning.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen it stop hurricane force winds before. A couple other supernatural feats, if you will. How do you, I don't know, grow such a powerful entity on your face? Like,
My unfettered love of Satan.
can I have his number?
Have you seen your own face, sir? I think you're okay.
I'd like some help.
You got a pretty strong beard there. Unless that's Sharpie, we're pretty far away. It looks pretty solid from this angle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it needs any beard help.
That's a good beard.
Yeah. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
job. Good job.
Over here, this gaggle of people who look like they're
Got a conference.
discussing what Rob did and why and how they prosecute. He shouldn't have done that. I know we'll take a question over here then. Hold on. We'll move on. Hey.
Yeah.
No, I know. I just figured they're still sorting it out. So go ahead.
I had a question for each of you. For Rob, did you name your band what you did because Vision Quest was your favorite movie?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were thinking of band names. It was about 96, and it was one of those things where like someone said Loudon Swain. You know, at the time there were bands named after, like there was a band called Get Ferris, or Save Ferris.
Save Ferris, yeah.
Ferris, which was from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Duran Duran is from the movie Barbarella. So someone said Loudon Swain, and the fact that we all knew that reference, we were like, Vision Quest, you know, because we really loved the movie Vision Quest. So yeah, we named it Loudon Swain, and it gets rarer and rarer that someone knows that that's what that's from. But it's been a fun journey for us because we've gotten to meet the man who wrote the book Vision Quest, and I met Matthew Modine, and they all are aware of the band, and that's been kind of cool.
That's a favorite movie of mine. I also like Takedown with Lorenzo Lamas, came out about the same time.
Yeah.
My other question is for Richard.
Yeah.
Why did the show feel the need to change the Archangel Blade, especially since Gabriel made one out of a can of Diet Orange Slice that wasn't good enough?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, woman. I feel like this is something we haven't gotten to yet. What are you asking? Did they change the angel what?
They changed the Archangel Blade.
Well, ask me when we get to those episodes in the show.
You don't know from episodes you've done what that means?
I don't remember. I don't know they changed the blade. No, I have no recollection of that. But we'll get there eventually, so we'll figure it out.
I just wondered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Usually those things are writer-based,
Yeah.
and no one tells us anything.
Exactly. That's not a decision we make. Is there a question over here?
Hello, my name is Kavina, and I'm from West Virginia, and this is my seatmate, Nina, and she's from New Jersey, and we have a question for Richard.
Okay.
We would like to know if the deaf actress Shoshana has given you a name sign or not?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Shoshana is A, fabulous person, B, great actress, C, great director, and an old friend of mine. So for those who don't know, she's on Supernatural. She and I worked together on Jericho. I directed her on Supernatural, and she also shadowed me as a director in Supernatural. I'm a huge fan of hers, but I don't know the answer to that question. I can ask her and I'll find out.
We have a name sign for you.
Okay, let's see what it is.
Shoshana has not given you one. We happened to be noticing the interpreter struggling trying to finger spell your name out really quick. And we noticed the struggle, and she has came up with a name sign.
Let's see it.
Would you like to learn?
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to come closer.
Well, why don't you guys come here?
Because Rob has a name to, oh shit.
Come on up this ramp. I think we should all learn this, right? If we're going to learn the right sound, all right?
Because Rob has a name sign and you don't.
Okay, so show everybody Rob's name sign. Show everybody Rob. This is Rob.
Everyone knows Rob's name sign. This is Rob.
Rob, that makes sense. Heart. Yeah, heart.
That is why I really for the deaf community.
That's awesome.
That means you stay with that name sign until you die. You don't change it. No one else gives you a different name sign.
Okay, that's Rob. And I'm going to bet mine is not that. All right, what is mine?
Okay, yours. Okay, this is rich, like we get rich one money, and then because of your name is Richard, Rich. With an R.
Oh, that's clever.
He has to learn somehow. Straight back, Rich.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is Jensen.
This is Jensen. Okay. We all know it's Squall. Jensen.
And what's Jared?
Jared,
Jared?
and then Misha. I think it's for both of them. Jared has like the multicolored eyes, so Jared and then Misha.
A lot of people are getting a little confused on the name sign with Richard and Jared because they're trying to interpret everything they were saying and they're stuttering. Well, I understand. Mine is Karina with a K. My name is Sinusitis because I either have a big mouth or I have the prettiest smile. You can take your pick.
My name is only 4 letters, so it's short. So normally I would just do Nina, but sometimes I'll do like Nina. I smile a lot. Nina.
That's awesome.
That is so cool. Thank you so much.
Ah, that's amazing.
That's awesome. Rich, Rob.
I would have thought yours is.
Man, I really thought it was going to be Priestley, yeah. I was not looking forward
And
to it.
then told me that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was really expecting something pretty horrific. This is great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you. Okay, over here.
Hi, my question's for Rob. Did you always know that you were going to be God in the show, or was it just as the show progressed that they told you that you were going to be God?
It was more that. When I was first cast, it was just of the prophet, and I didn't find out until the end of season 5, before the episode Swan Song, when I narrate the episode, and then I'm wearing all white, and I kind of go poof, and Eric Kripke called me and he said, "So, you're God." And I was like, "That's amazing. This is what a great thing to hear." And he's like, "But I can't really have you back on the show after this." And I was like, "That's awful." And then he explained that he didn't want God to come in and save the day, So really, I kind of was Eric Kripke himself, because he's the creator of the show. I was the creator of that universe, the writer of the show, and he left after season 5, and he kind of took me with him. That's kind of what happened, and I don't think he ever thought the show would go on as long as it did. So then by season 10, it kind of made sense to start to bring me back. So I did that whole arc in season 11, and then I went bad. But I mean, we don't really find out anything until like kind of a week before we go shoot it. So even that was a surprise to me. But yeah, it was into season 5 is when I found out.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thanks. Hey,
So I just wanted to come on.
that was perfect. That was mid-sentence. Are you next on stage?
She's next.
Okay, great. Well, Guy, good to see you. That's
that
that
was
was
good.
my life partner, Ruth
Let's
Connell.
do one last question. All right, one last question.
Hi guys, I'm Bree.
Hey, Bree.
Rich, I've heard you love telling the story and I haven't heard it yet. Apparently there was a story where Gil was involved with Baymax 6.
Oh man. Yeah, it was an adult story for adult people. It was a karaoke party years ago. Before, you may not know this, but karaoke existed before DJ Qualls. And so there was an era in which Matt Cohen and I were the hosts, and Rob was a frequent guest. And there was a costume theme that I don't know what it was, but Osric was always very committed to costumes. He did some really thorough costumes. And at one point, he dressed as Baymax from Big Hero 6. That's the name of the movie, right? And he had it was an inflatable costume.
It's one of those costumes where it's kind of blowing air in the whole time, so it's like.
Yeah. So he came out, and he's dancing, and Gil, I don't know what Gil was dressed as, but he had been talking to his buddy Jack Daniels, and his other friend Budweiser.
Yeah, getting real familiar with them.
And they got a little feisty. And Gil thought it would be funny. Now listen, if there's children in the audience, I want you to know that I apologize for this story. I'm sure that many of you of a certain age know that when a man and a woman love each other very much, certain things happen. Well, some of those things also happen if you're Gil and Baymax. And so Gil started going old school on Baymax on stage.
Yeah.
And in the throes of the act, he deflated Baymax.
Yeah.
Which Osric wasn't expecting, because Osric was in a t-shirt and boxers, and so the whole thing, Osric had to climb out of Baymax as if Baymax was giving birth to Osric.
What was crazy is that Baymax was humped and gave birth in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
It gave birth to a pretty
Very fit
little
guy.
Osric child.
Yeah, it was. You can't unsee it. I know that because
No.
I've tried.
No, I can't even watch that movie
No, I
anymore.
can't watch it. There are no heroes in this story.
No.
No heroes at all.
No.
Thank you for your question. Classic Gil McKinney.
Classic
oh my God, I
McKinney.
love it so much. Speaking of classic Gil McKinney.